Okay. Jumping back into Halo. How did we even start the last mess hall, man? Did we like?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
I think
Hey
we were
guys,
just.
we're back.
Yeah.
I want to give a valid reason as to why we're doing another mess hall on Halo. Um, I don't really have one.
Well, okay. So mess hall is just kind of like it's as close to a podcast as we can get, right? Like that's
Right.
that's kind of what we do. And we were just sitting here playing Halo, and we just kind of got into discussion like we would do. So we're like, hold on, like, wait, let's kind of back up a bit, and we'll record this because this is basically just an episode of mess hall.
Yeah, and so then actually to go to backtrack on it so we can continue the conversation, just get everyone caught up. So we were talking about liking playing Halo and our experiences with it, and um, we kind of got into like gatekeeping and going into that. And so right now, what our discussion was is gatekeeping and that
It's kind of it.
kind
Um,
of it. Yeah,
to give
it
a
was
little
it was
more
more involved and more of a yeah.
to kind of briefly give a little more explanation to that. Basically, I was saying so. Growing up, I basically didn't get to play Halo. I've played Halo a couple times when I was really little. I got to play CE, just multiplayer, on a friend's. I've been at people's houses when they were playing through the CE campaign like a little bit, but I barely remember it. Um, and then like as a teenager, I played Halo multiplayer with friends. So it wasn't until after high school that I actually had a chance to start playing it. Just like playing
Jesus
through the story.
fucking
That was disgusting. I saw that.
like I've been playing a lot of Halo 2 lately, right? And
Yeah,
those will drop like 3 or 4 when they die.
that's a
But,
lot more than 3 or 4.
but that is not. Anyway,
But without getting into the whole after, because there's a lot to go on after high school. As far as when I stepped into Halo and started playing, like I started with 5, and it wasn't great. Um, so MCC on PC has been really good for me. But back in high school specifically, growing up, I wasn't really allowed to play shooters or whatever. I kind of had a religious family, and that wasn't allowed. So at some point, things started happening in life. Rules started breaking up a bit. And at the time, the only like FPS I could play, the one I started on, was Call of Duty, specifically Modern Warfare 3. And after I beat that, that was my fault. I shot you in the face.
awesome.
But after I started and finished Modern Warfare 3, I got the chance to play through Modern Warfare 2. Max, you guys remember Max? You know who Max is. Yeah, Max and I, we kind of grew up playing that one a little bit together. But it always seemed like, in school, talking, even with friends I've known for years, like almost all my life, it was one of those things where there was a lot of snobbery. You can either like Call of Duty or you can like Halo. And obviously, like, I preferred Call of Duty because that's what I played, and the controls in Halo felt so weird and foreign. They still kind of do. But compared to something that was a little more intuitive, I think, like Call of Duty. And it was just kind of weird how you can only like one or the other, and especially if you were like on the side of Call of Duty, then all of the people who liked Halo, they were like very snobbish about it, like, oh, you're this, you're that. That's such a bad game. And even I remember myself being like that, like, oh, real gamers don't just play Call of Duty and make jokes about, sleeping with each other's moms. Like, that kind of is gamer culture, though. That's not, that felt like, no, those aren't real gamers. Those are just people with consoles. But that really is what gaming culture was at that point, I guess. And so it's just kind of
Yeah,
weird how gatekeeping. It's a lot better now. Uh, as a
it's
community,
we
we've
still
like,
have a lot of that uh, fucking gay station and um, I don't know what the slur is for Xbox, but we still have a lot of that for console to console,
so
that kind
letting
of stuff.
letting my PlayStation main toxicity shown through. The main insult for someone who plays on Xbox is an Xbox user, because that's insult enough.
All right.
But yeah, which like I can understand. That's kind of like an Apple versus Android thing. Personally, I just like
Yeah,
prefer
I
PlayStation,
kind
and
of
I don't
fucked
get
up with that
toxic about it
placement.
unless like Xbox people want to start talking smack, and then I'm gonna start, I'm gonna defend my homeland. But I'm almost out of ammo for this. Can I get that SMG that was back here? Actually, cool. But even that's a little bit different towards, like just full-on gatekeeping franchises. I mean, like Halo obviously is an exclusive to Xbox, but how did you... Okay, there we go. But, there's a lot of people that even still will gatekeep their favorite franchises from people, and not... as a community, I think we've gotten a lot better. We've identified that gatekeeping is an issue that we have, and so we've taken steps to be like, no, we want everybody to be included in this. But it's kind of weird that there's something that kind of brews in you as a gamer that makes you want to gatekeep. Not like it's I don't want anybody enjoying it, but I don't know. Maybe it's you feel superior because you were already in it and you feel that they're inferior, or I don't know. I'm just kind of pulling at strings at this point, really. But I'm not gonna say I haven't done it myself, because I have. I've definitely been that asshole that's like, oh no, you're not good enough, or you need to do it this way or this way. Granted,
Well,
that
even
was
something
a hot
as
minute
simple
ago.
as like backseat gaming can be that, like I don't want to throw shade at a certain person who hates grass types, and like I don't like grass types either. But like, I'm not gonna tell someone no, you shouldn't use that 'cause it's bad. If
Well,
you like,
I'll advise that, hey, just so you know, you're gonna have a harder time with that. But if that's what you want to do, man, if that's the life
if
you want
I
to
want to use
live,
Chikorita, I'm damn well going to.
yeah, no, like Trico is one of my favorite starters, and you can't tell me to do anything else. Like, fight me, I will take Trico over Mudkip or
Dude, I'd
Torchic
take
every
anything over
time.
Mudkip. I don't like Mudkip, but you know what? If someone's gonna use Mudkip, let's fucking use Mudkip. I don't give a shit.
Heard you like Mudkips. These things are strong, man. I don't like it.
Yeah, dude, it's the new Flood because every game has to have a new enemy.
I don't like the new Flood. I'm out of ammo for like everything. Where's... Please,
Fucking die.
that's deployable cover. I know, I need corpses, please. There's an elite back here.
Oh, don't mind if I do. Yeah.
Alright, I have some weapons. Where are we going? Down there? Okay. But, yeah, it's kind of interesting how that kind of builds up. And I'm not really sure, like I said before, I was just kind of grasping at straws to try to find an explanation for it. But ultimately, don't do that, people. Don't be that guy, because I've been on both sides of that aisle myself, and it feels so much better to be more of like a welcoming, force. Like, hey, this is something I really love, and I think you might really like it too. And watching them like get involved and get excited about that, it's a great feeling. It's a lot better than the kind of weird, gross feeling you get from trying to prove you're better. We're jumping into the fire hole?
Yeah.
Oh, this doesn't
Well, I
seem
wouldn't
like
really call it fire.
Oh, there's no more fire. There was a lot of fire.
Yeah, believe it or not, as disgusting as this hole is, this is not the most disgusting hole in Halo 3.
Ooh, something shaky's happening.
Yeah, the Gravemine's talking to us.
Well, I don't like it.
Neither do I, but,
Call me a prophet of the one true God, because I'm terrified right now.
Call me Karen, because I want to see the manager. No, wait, this is the worst hole. Never mind. Dude, please stop touching me and changing my FOV.
Yeah, if I didn't slow down and my FOV didn't get weird. If I didn't go from Halo to Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'd like to say that I don't ever really gatekeep, but I don't really know. That I can't necessarily be the sole judge on what is and what isn't gatekeeping. I don't know where the fuck we're supposed to go. It's supposed to go somewhere, but I don't know
Oh,
where.
right here. Supposed to get Cortana out of the thing.
Oh, right. But yeah, no, I don't like to think that I gatekeep a whole lot. And like, as I've grown up, I've just been wondering why people get like that. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not a real gamer because you play. Well, fuck. Actually, I do deal with that actually on one of the Discord servers I'm on. And it's like every time I get on, I get DMs. Ooh, you're playing Destiny? Like, fuck off! I'm enjoying the game.
Destiny's not a bad game. I don't know what people have against it so harsh. Like, I understand that people don't like the DLC format of it, right? I understand that. I've been playing Destiny for a very long time at this point. I understand what I'm doing. I understand where I'm putting my money. And I've been back and forth on it. I've thought it was an awful design and hated it, and other times I loved it. For the most part, I do love it, right? So I understand what I've done. You don't need to come to me and talk to me about the games that I'm playing and try to, badmouth them like that, because I ultimately have been the one to spend the money, right? I made my choice. Now, if I was asking for your opinion, that's one thing, right? If I'm like, hey, I want to break into this new series, but I'm not sure. Can you tell me a little bit more about the ups and downs? Then that's warranted. But like, just hopping on the game like you do a lot. Somebody decides they want to pick a fight about it. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I can say for you though, I don't really think you've been any sort of a gatekeeper. You've kind of brought me into a lot of new things, especially just over this past year specifically. And while you've been very, very ready to be like, prepare to get your ass kicked, dude. Like that's not like gatekeeping. That's just you're starting at the bottom. Things are going to be rough. Just get ready for a rough time. But overall, you've like really showed me the way in a lot of stuff and helped me out in a lot of aspects in that way. So I wouldn't say so.
Time for a new music genre.
New music genre. Oh wait, did you find a new one?
No.
Oh okay. I was like, wait, was he actually saying that? But no, like that War Thunder's been a big one. Like that's all been completely foreign to me until I started picking things up this year. And I can tell you, I've had many friends over the years that something as complicated as War Thunder, like, you get in, you shoot, doesn't seem like that's complicated, but there's so many nuances to it. I have so many friends I've had friends, I should say, that would just kind of assume you're an idiot for not getting those right away, or not bother explaining them or guiding you through them, just kind of tossing you in, and if you can't sink, then you're going to, or if you can't float, you're going to sink, and that's your fault, and, goodbye. Don't do that, people. Help your friends.
Did you see her condition? How damaged she is? She could be corrupted for all we know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like not to explain it like I would explain a detriment, but part of it's probably also like, you grew up playing video games with Max and shit, and I had like a kid down the street that I went over to his house like 5 times in 10 years. And that's it. And so I didn't have people to play video games with, or like my extent of video gaming would be playing Super Mario World with Alyssa.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing, though. Like, before I started hanging out with Max, right, I had friends and I hung out with friends, but, like, I'm talking, like, once every 6 months, I might get to have, like, a sleepover or something and go hang out with somebody outside of school. It was just not something I was allowed to do.
I didn't get to have a sleepover till I was fucking 15.
My, Max was in the same religion as me, so we were allowed to hang out more. And again, that was kind of when rules started breaking up a little bit more. So he was one of the first people I actually started being able to regularly game with. And whenever it was co-op stuff, that works great. And as far as Smash Brothers, that was good too, because he kind of has that. He was one of the only people that didn't stop playing games with me because I was better than him. He gets the fire in him and he wants to beat me. He will challenge me and he will lose 99 games out of 100. But as long as he can win that 100th game, it was worth it to him. And, most of the people I played games with, I'm, like, not to say I'm a great gamer, but, like, usually I win or I'm good enough at the games that people play, like, 3 times with me and don't want to play again. So, other than Max in those few instances, I really haven't had a lot of people to be able to play stuff with either, until really in high school when I started like PC gaming, and I got, like my PS3. Uh, that's when I actually was able to start hanging out with people online or gaming online, and I was probably like, I was 17 when I got my PS3 because I got that when I was working at Game King and I had my license by then. So I was like 17 and a half or so when I finally got around to that.
Yeah, I was in seventh grade's kind of where like I started actually. Seventh grade was when I got a laptop that I could play games on. Barely, but I could.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like I didn't play games where I could get gatekeeped. It was the extent of my gaming was playing like either Space Engineers or Gary's Mod with Caden, and
Oh.
that was exclusively what I played till like freshman year in high school when I started playing story games and like playing Black Mesa and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually into like full like all I do is play co-op games, The Forest and Dying Light and just stuff that's just fun to dick around in with another person. But it's story driven still.
Gmod, that's been years ago. I suppose I should actually reiterate. So before I even was able to start playing like war games and things like that, um, Minecraft was on the scene, and I
Minecraft.
didn't have a Minecraft account for the longest time, so I just played Minecraft by myself in my own world. So I had the game, but I didn't have the $20 whatever, so I could play online. So I didn't get to do that for a while. But Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO, launched, and this might explain why this is such a big game to me. Why I love it irrationally as much as I do. That was actually the first game I really got to start playing with people on in general, because there were free to play sections, and it would be like a month of free to play just to advertise, and I would get like literally all of my friends on there to start playing with me, and we would go through and start all new characters and go through and make a new clan and whatnot up until that ran out, until they released free to play, and then everybody jumped back on again with me and we played for a while. By the time free to play came out the second time, I had more friends. I was playing online games a bit more. I had a Minecraft account, and Minecraft was the second like stage where it's like, oh my god, this is just full online gaming. Going into random servers and playing like Hunger Games or whatever. We had a factions server, a builders server, just like yeah. That was where I got my first bit, and you can't really gatekeep in Minecraft.
It's like
It's hard to do.
no, in fact,
Back in
it's
like
not
4.12, I
actually
should
a thing
say,
you can
or
do.
whatever it was.
Like so, are you familiar with 2B2T?
Maybe.
It's one of the oldest servers of Minecraft, and it's the oldest anarchy server. There's like no rules,
Okay.
and it's not. So I'd like to draw the line between gatekeeping and hazing.
Mm-hmm.
You join. Well, this is something we've already talked about a little bit actually with when we were when you brought up War Thunder and bringing through that. Like in 2B2T, you join and you better fucking expect that you're gonna get slaughtered by everyone who's been playing for a while just because you're new at the game, new on the server. But they're not like in the end. If you keep playing, you'll be one of those people that does that because that's just it's the culture of 2B2T. And it's like I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to say it's gatekeeping. It is just hazing.
I've
Once you're in the club, you're in the club.
So on the faction server, there was a lot of hazing in there too. I mean, we had like 3 different full bases that we built from start to finish, only to get torn down by uh, one of the
Yeah,
mods who
I
was
heard that ordeal.
yeah, because you were there,
I
and
was not there, but
oh, were you not?
I am actually familiar. So
It all ended
um,
up that the
I
server
was
owner,
friends.
one of the mods was
Right.
friends with the server owner, and
Well,
basically it was just a playground for him.
I was friends with the server owner's
Little
little
brother,
brother.
yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm familiar with that the situation.
Yeah, that was it was fun. There was a lot of fun, but it was kind of hell to be put through, because again, it was just kind of Grief Central. They had Bucket and all the mods they'd want to turn on whenever they wanted to, so they could take and just completely destroy everything with a single command if they wanted to, and they often did. Remember one time, we gave up our own faction and joined the server owner's faction. He had a like floating island out in the middle of an ocean that was supposed to be safe. It was like had like console commands to make it safe. For fun, the mod in question got him to turn those off, and they like turned on gravity and collapsed all of our buildings in there. They griefed took all of our stuff. Like, it just, suddenly we found ourselves back to zero in what was supposed to be the most fortified place, and like, it sucked. That was emotional. I got emotional over that server a few times because we were all just there to have fun, and faction rating's part of it, but when somebody has the powers of God against the rest of you and regularly exercises them, but only after you've built yourself up completely again, it's just kind of,
It's
what's the point? Yeah, if it was a Fallout raid, if it was just a normal PvP raid, and we just lost, that's one thing, but it wasn't. It was people flying around in creative with ultra enchanted swords, and they can't die, and stuff that like axes and hoes that when they'd hit you they'd knock you back a million blocks and set you on fire and stuff. And yeah, that's just, and I think there's a lot of that, just kind of that sick like, what's the word, like sadism in gaming too. And it's different than hazing. It's similar, and a lot of people just like to regard it as hazing, but I think there's a lot of that too, where it's like, making other people upset, and maybe some of us were just taking the game too seriously, but it kind of was just there so they could destroy stuff whenever they wanted, and that was not what it was supposed to be, especially for the rest of us that would spend like literal hours building some amazing things on there. Some really intricate redstone stuff to huge, intricate monuments and whatnot. It was hours and hours of our lives that would be destroyed in a matter of seconds.
It's abuse of power in that situation. Because, like, so 2v2t I described, it's an anarchy server, and so what are you going to expect when you go into that,
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking anarchy. And, like, hacking and everything, that's allowed. They don't care. The only thing that doesn't happen is, like, you can't get into creative mode,
Yeah.
And everything, if people build some amazing bases, actually, I recommend looking into the history of 2v2t. It's really, there's some amazing builds that people do, and they do on 2v2t, and it's like, when I was first getting into it, sorry, there's fireworks outside of my house, so that comes through. When I was first, like, looking at it and researching it, it was a weird thing. It's like, why the hell are you going to spend so much time building something so beautiful on an anarchy server? But it was living in the moment,
Yeah.
You build it and you're expecting that it's going to last. If you get it to last more than like 6 months, it's well hidden. But and then it's still like, yeah, I kind of want to join 2b2t to just go around and be a part of that. I think that Had to Be There is a very cool idea. I don't like the way Bungie's handling their You Had to Be There. That's a different kind of You Had to Be There.
It's the idea of organic versus scripted. Bungie's very much so making scripted events, which some of them are coming off cool.
Another perfect example of You Had to Be There. Leia Organa's funeral. Do you remember when that happened? When Carrie Fisher died, and everyone went to Alderaan on the Old Republic, and like they released the emote, the holding a torch emote for free, and they just had a massive funeral.
And again, that was mostly, I'll say, because they obviously in solidarity will release this thing, but the people decided they wanted to just go organize this event in game. There was nothing sponsored to do that.
Drive me around.
Yeah. What are we taking?
Mongoose.
Can you hop on the back of the mongoose?
I can. I cannot because I switched my weapon and you ran away from me.
Well,
ouch! I'm dead.
Yeah, because there were bad guys. Okay, I need to get off of this because it's not working. I can't. What? Oh. You
So
know
how
what?
about it's because you forgot the controls.
Yeah, because normally triggers do things.
Nope. Yep. All right. Ouch.
You want to drive this instead?
I actually don't like brute weapons, brute vehicles.
Well, they hurt.
I don't have any rockets, but I'll drive you around because I'm good at driving in Halo.
Oh, okay. Get out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys take that. You guys go have fun with that. No, no, hey, no, no, hey.
Just tell him to get off.
He's. Oh, there we go. He got mad because I shot him. Okay, I don't have anything special. I just got guns, but I'll shoot.
Yeah, organic had to be there. Things are amazing, and like this is another thing that I talked about that I've just mentioned to you in passing. I don't know if you've actually like researched it. That's not my fault. You can get back on. Well, you can take the brute chopper if you want
Yeah, it's got guns.
it. It also has a ramming speed.
Yeah.
But the Fountain War, that's never gonna happen again like that, you know?
Yeah. Or the Blood Plague.
Or the Blood Plague. Those are you had to be there, and if it's possible to make things happen happen and still have them feel organic, you know? You don't need to limit content and when it can be obtained to get you had to be there moments.
Well, the Blood Plague wasn't something they implemented on purpose. That was a glitch.
Well, so right, but it was an expansion, and the way that it worked ended up making it like it was poorly programming. Yes, it was a bad glitch, but it was a major thing because it was part of an expansion. That's why it became a thing when it did. And like the Fountain War was a similar thing. It was they added a new economy system, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and there was the one like resource hotspot.
Yeah. And then like there are things that Bungie has done okay, I think, in the had to be there. When we got on at 7 in the morning to watch the Traveler exhaust its life,
Just to heal itself. That was good.
and then you get like an emblem for that, and then that's like if you weren't there, you don't get to see that again. That's not coming back. That
The
and
Almighty was cool too.
it was boring, but the Almighty was cool still.
Yeah, no. Are these for us or not? Because I can't tell.
They are not because they're Sentinels. They're technically a neutral or a separate faction. That's
Okay.
they don't really like us. 'Cause,
Well, they're not shooting.
they're not
So.
right now. Actually, we're good.
But so the small events like that, and I think that's what Bungie's going to keep doing because those have seemed to work really, really well. It's more of the seasonal content being had to be there, where it's like, oh, if you weren't there to get these weapons, during the 3 months that they were available, then you don't get them. That's more just kind of the meh side of it.
It's less of the oh wow I missed this cool event and more of wow that's stupid that I can't get this anymore.
Yeah, because it's like, I played it for those 3 months. I got those weapons, but my rolls were garbage, so I deleted them. But now suddenly there was a change in game, and those weapons are amazing, but I can't get mine back. Like, just kind of, I don't know, feels kind of meh there. I don't think that like the amount of content and loot tied to had to be there is necessarily a good model. I will say though, I don't mind this whole seasonal activity model they're going for. Some of them have really been a hit. Some of them have been
Seasonal activity
garbage, but
model is pretty okay.
they just need to keep refining it.
I understand the bloating, but at the very least, I miss Vex Offensive. At the very least, we should have kept the Vex Gate as part of the tower. That did not make sense to remove.
Yeah, where do we go?
It should be right here. I'm pretty sure this opens up.
Yeah.
Or maybe we drop to the tank and we can go do that now?
Is there,
We're going, I don't know.
is there a full tank down there?
There should be a tank somewhere. I remember a tank section.
Let's get the commander down safe. Then we'll worry about getting through that wall.
Oh. So we need to
So,
probably be listening to Johnson.
Yeah, but where are we keeping the commanders? Where are we going
Probably
back?
down. I'm just like watching where our dudes are haphazardly moving, and they're just kind of hanging out down here. So I don't know. Maybe we do go back.
I'm getting weird chugging, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, why is Halo 3, a game made for the Xbox 360, chugging on my laptop?
I'm gonna head back this way and see what happens.
I don't have my mongoose.
There's
Oh
one
wait,
up
wait,
there.
wait. Hey, you let me on.
Oh, yep. I found some. I found some duders. Death to death. Oh God, 2 minutes, man.
Oh shit! Already?
Yeah, I know. We were like, okay, let's play through Halo 3, and then we'll just kind of do whatever until New Year's. But people, it's 11:58 currently. Obviously, you guys are gonna see this after we're well into 21. But I don't know. I've posted on Twitter and on our Discord, but I really am appreciative of the ride that you guys have taken us on. Even you know, it hasn't been like a mass army. Just where we've gone over the course of 2020 has been great, and I have a lot of hopes and ambitions for 21 for LSL.
I want to give a special shout out, and they're not going to hear it because they're not here watching it. Our Twitch subscribers, like our Twitch channel, I'm willing to say was more successful, technically, than our YouTube channel, because we got a lot of followers on Twitch. Like, we had 13 or 14.
Wow,
Those people were not people we knew. There was a couple people we knew that followed us, our Twitch, but not that many compared to our YouTube channel.
yeah, which because YouTube we spread around versus Twitch we just kind of did. And with that, let's hope to a good 2021 because we are officially out of the worst year in history.
Yeah, probably the worst year in history. Yeah,
Well, so far.
that we know of.
I hear
like,
I hear the fireworks.
yeah, it's, you know what's really weird about it? I don't hear any sirens, which I probably should be for how close those fireworks sound.
Eh.
And you know, I live in the city.
Maybe the cops are just like, you know, give it to them.
Maybe
This like
they're actually not that close.
this has been a really hard year. A little extra jubilation's fine.
They can still be far enough away to be like in a park where they're doing an actual.
Like a show.
Yeah.
Oh, I died. I'm being stupid.
I'm not waiting for a respawn.
I want this tank.
It's destroyed, man. Sorry.
This one? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I destroyed it, but it didn't look completely destroyed from far away. Grenade! Granada!
Okay, so I felt that one shake my house.
So what I'm hearing is they're a little close.
That was very close.
All of mine are like literally from a street over, and you know where I am right now, so
Yeah.
these aren't like normal sized suburban streets. These are tiny. That's probably like at most 150 feet away from where I'm sitting currently. You doing okay there?
Dude, I don't know how that happened. I shouldn't have died like that.
Yeah, no, it seemed a little sudden. Well, happy 2021, everybody. I hope that all of you guys are going to have a safe and bright year. Hopefully 2020 was, you know, it was pretty bad, but hopefully it was at least good character development for everyone. I know it has been for me. So hopefully that's, you know, everybody got the development that they needed so that we can go through and have our main story in 2021. We can go through and have our, you know, ups and downs that actually don't just suck in 2021.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Hello,
that's a big ship. Hello. You're a little
or not,
close to the surface.
what is it called? I don't remember.
Hey, Johnson.
Tank! I knew there was a tank part. Ooh, wait. Ooh, wait. Hold on. Is that what I think it is?
Is it Goshawk?
I
No,
think
that's a
it's a
Warthog.
Goshawk. Oh
That's,
my god.
that's a
Is
Warthog.
it?
Yeah, it's got multiple barrels.
You're a fucking disappointment, Keys. Ouch.
Stop. I'm going to drive this Scorpion.
Two guys driving tanks because they're not gay.
As I see, you know, gay with an arrow driving by.
Fun fact, did you know that we did not start Paw Patrol? We saw someone playing with the tag Paw Patrol and like, wow, that's awesome. I want to join Paw Patrol.
I think you did tell me that at one point. Oh, that's one of my guys. I don't want to blow him up. I mean, I kind of do, but...
Sometimes I really do. God. Fucking hate... I don't mind the Halo controls, but for the tank, it's absolutely horrid.
Yeah.
Also, something that I'm annoyed with is they removed the coaxial machine gun in Halo 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a machine gun, but I don't get to control it.
Yeah, because you used to have the one right next to the barrel. That was pretty great. To be fair, though, I don't think we had the whole gun,
No, it was just one person gets the tank.
but... No, we didn't have the whole gun, but it's still, yeah.
It's more co-op friendly, I guess, except when you give us 3 tanks.
It is more co-op friendly. And yeah, when you get 3 tanks, but in multiplayer, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here. It's just, if they only gave us 1 Scorpion, then...
Well, I mean, like the online player versus player, PvP.
Yeah.
And like, it's probably because that was 2007, man, when this game came out. That was just starting to be a big thing, you know? The Xbox Live being a thing. I mean, that was a thing back in Halo 2, but
That was the thing in
Still.
Halo 1.
it wasn't Halo. It was not in Halo 1. It was something else in Halo 1. It was called like Xbox Play or something like that, but it was a different system entirely.
Oh. I was already up there, though.
Very similar. It's just like it's the precursor, you know?
Was he not with us before?
Who, Johnson?
No, the Oracle.
Or oh, I don't think
Guilty
it was.
Spark. Yeah. It's like we were already up here just because some floaty ball decided he didn't want to be with us the first time. Now we gotta come all the way back here. Jeez.
Well, to be fair, we get tanks now. God, they built up these defenses so much in the like 2 minutes it took us to drive.
I was gonna say, we weren't gone very long. They were quick. Hack. Hey, Guilty Spark. I would have died if that would have actually killed him. It's just, boom, gotta start the whole mission over. You've destroyed one of our only lifelines. We're complaining and like making dumb observations here, but like, it should be said, this is fun.
Also,
This is fun.
like, I would love to make fun of this game as much as I can, but considering the game looks like this and it was made in 2007, 14 fucking years ago,
Oof, my bones.
right?
I'll take a laser.
I just don't like the Sentinel guns.
They're not great, but you know, I'm just...
They're not gonna jump
flavor.
because that would have killed me.
Well, I didn't jump the whole way.
I almost just jumped off the edge there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Open the door.
It's trying.
Come on, Ghost. Do it.
Oh, fuck, you didn't do the Warthog run in Halo 1 because you haven't played through Halo 1.
Nope. Because that was Max playing.
Yep, and he didn't do the Warthog run either. He hasn't finished the game.
Mm-mm.
Well, there's a Warthog run in Halo 3. Oh, look, all our tanks are down there.
Oh, hey guys.
Across the bridge, children.
It is okay. So, okay, let's explain a little bit because I don't know that we've actually like formally talked about a lot of what's happened on our channel.
Yeah, we should talk about. So there's no bad blood. I said this once before, I know, but I want to reiterate: there's no bad blood between Max. Life gets in the way.
Yeah, no, like we really want to set up more recordings and stuff with Max. It's just
and he does, and like we're actually talking about doing some stuff with him in the near future.
yeah, like I said on the Discord post there, we have some plans. It's just gonna take a little bit of time for us to be able to work on
A
those.
birthday gift. It's a month early, but I'll take it.
Let's do this. But basically, when we started LSL, we all lived together in the same house, right? We were all roommates, and we just decided, hey, let's start streaming. Streaming was going rough. Some stuff happened. We're like, hey, let's start making YouTube videos. It's going to work out a little bit better. Due to, like personal choices, it's not really our place to talk about a ton. Max eventually decided he wanted to move out and just get a different situation, which we were, in full support of. Yeah,
you can say that much.
Yeah, whatever he wants to do, that's totally up to him. We weren't like upset about that or anything like that. But because we weren't living together anymore, and of course, he's got his kid on the weekends and whatnot, it makes it a little bit hard for us to be able to actually record anything, which is why it's just been Jay and I for a hot minute now. So things have reduced down even more because Jay and I currently aren't even in the same town. We have goals to basically I'm going to migrate towards where he is right now, but that's just not where we are at the moment. So a lot of our uploads are either stuff that we play like when we can get together and play like maybe once a week, or it's just bits of parts where we've gotten together and gamed for like 4 hours at a time that I'm still just kind of working off of. So it's kind of why content's been a little same-ish and dry for a little while. We just haven't had the ability to really record, despite, like, I guess I can't speak for you, but like I've been really missing us being able to get down into our living room 3 days a week, bring forward those microphones and just kind of record for a while.
I really missed being able to do recordings like that.
I'm behind you.
I do want to specify, I do, because I'm not afraid of people knowing my situation and why things are the way they are. I lost my job like 6 months ago now, and I spent those 6 months looking for work in my hometown, and I couldn't get it. I'm not really built to do the jobs they have available. I'm not really someone that they're gonna hire there. If I could get hired, I'd be working at like Domino's, and
our Domino's is literally like it's one of the worst places in town to work. Just for the people out there, the jobs we have available are like go be a roofer, or like factory jobs, the kind of factory jobs that are like really, really harsh, but they pay the best in town.
Yeah, we have a Keystone, and people go there to die.
Yeah, it's
not of old age.
If you're sometimes of old age. I know some people that have worked there for a really long time.
It's not going to be the old age that brings them down.
No, it's not. It's going to be something else. But we have like a meat packing plant. We have a blanket mill that does like woolen products and stuff. And like they're each bad in their own certain degrees and ways. Oh no, it's moving away. I timed that poorly. But the jobs are just really dry right now, especially during the pandemic. A lot of the extra jobs have just
job in the first place. Actually,
yeah,
they just couldn't actually like afford to keep me working there. So that sucked. I'm over it. I'm working in a better place now, and like that's the whole thing. Like I was the closest place I was able to get a job, and like to be fair, I was a bit more biased and looking towards this place because I want to live in the city. Um, it's 200 fucking miles away from where I used to live, and
Literally other
I
side of the state.
moved. It's so I've been staying, and then I haven't had internet. Is another thing why we haven't been able to get content. I haven't had internet till like yesterday.
Yeah, so things are changing, but Max recently got a Switch, and apparently Morgan did too, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, finally have some consoles, because he didn't have a console or a PC or anything to be able to play with us since he moved out. Jay's got internet now. My situation's not really any different. I still got the same job I've been working for a while, and I hate. But I'm secure enough that I'm not going anywhere for a while. So hopefully things are going to be turning around here in the next couple months, and we'll be able to start doing a little bit more exciting stuff on our channel. This all being said, we have ideas, right? We have a lot of stuff we want to do that we're excited to try to do, but we're definitely open towards what people want to see, right? So anything you guys want us to do or play or whatever, just reach out to us, in the comments below. We link Twitter in our things. Hold on, actually. One second here. Yeah. I'm actually... So, it's funny you called. I'm actually playing Halo 3 with Walt right now, and we're actually recording what's going to be the second mess hall. Yeah, and we're just kind of talking
I'm
about...
assuming this is Max, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Max. Yeah.
Yeah, we're also literally just talking about, like, why our recording's been different lately.
Here, hold on one second. Just, scream that really loud in, 3 seconds here.
No, I don't... Dude, my house is connected. Like, I've got neighbors, dude.
1 second. Try it again.
I'm not doing it again.
Oh.
You get the point.
Yeah, well, he couldn't hear you, but I was putting you up to the mic.
Does Happy New Year's back?
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year's, man.
He says Happy New Year's back.
Call it happy, but it's New Year's.
Yeah, it's New Year's. But yeah, we never really stopped and talked about everything that happened, the house and the channel switch up and how Walt's living on the other side of the state now and why things are so crazy. So we're just kind of talking about that. We talked about some gaming stuff, just kind of, reflecting on ideas for LSL. Okay, so you're on speaker again. I'm pointing you towards my mic. I don't know how well this is going to be able to pick it up, but I want to try to cut this into our mess hall here, since, it's kind of the whole thing. Just a quick topic for the three of us, I guess, and I'll try to relay from Walt as best I can for you. But, you and I sat down and we recorded a few tries at a podcast that never happened. And one of the big things that you and I talked about were resolutions for 2020. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts on 2021, what, if you had any resolution goals that you'd want to, share with the people.
Oh, shit. I wasn't ready for that. I was just talking to my mom about that, too. Not really. Not that I can think of.
It's kind of hard after
money.
last year.
Being an adult, I guess, fine, too.
Yeah, that's
about all I got, man.
kind of all I'm working on at the moment, too.
Huh?
It's kind of what I'm working on at the moment, too. Just paying off debt, saving money, adulting a little bit harder.
Yeah. I mean, once you get out of high school, that's about all there is.
Yeah, pretty well. But super hoping for a better year, good new year for LSL, because this was a great year for us, actually. We started from nothing, and I won't say we blew up by any means, but we made progress, right? We have a lot to show for what we've been working on all year. And so I'm hoping that we can double down on that and improve next year. That this 2021 is going to be, double what we've seen in 2020, both by effort and by things not being as sucky.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Everything, and getting back into anything really at this point. As far as my part goes.
Yeah.
But, hell yeah.
Walt, do you have anything to add to that?
I've got, basic goals. Step one, we need to get a new place.
Mm-hmm.
And then step 2, buy a fucking Porsche.
Buy a Porsche.
Yeah, he's been looking at getting a vintage Porsche.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, good luck with that, though.
Oh, dude, they're like $2,000.
He's found a couple, and they're like $2,000. The ones he's looking for.
They're not like the ones he's looking for?
The ones he's looking for are like $2,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it's like it's super
bad at all.
doable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a desirable model by appearance, but I love the car, so. Well, for most people, it's not desirable by appearance.
Yeah. All right, I'll take you off speakerphone here. Is there anything else you want to leave us with here while I have you pointed at the mic and hopefully it can hear you?
I don't know, man. Be the best you can be, and other cliche BS. And Happy New Year's, man.
I wouldn't normally take a phone call on recording, but
If it's Max, you know.
we were literally just talking about that, so it's like
This room was not as dangerous as I thought it was.
it's just a bunch of grunt boys.
Well, there were a bunch of explosive barrels, but then they didn't actually kill anything, so.
That was probably mostly my fault what just happened.
It's always great. I haven't seen Max in fucking ages.
Trying to remember the last time I saw him. It wasn't too long ago. I think it was when he came to drop off my books,
I know,
actually.
at least. But like, fuck, dude, I saw him a little bit when we were moving out of the old place.
Yeah, because he dropped by and was helping me move out. But he stopped by here a couple times to just like exchange keys, money, whatever. He brought me back my D&D books for helping me move out. I bought him and Morgan each a player's handbook. And so he came back to give me my PHB back and grab theirs, and we just kind of talked about stuff for a little bit. But I mean, I've seen him as much as I've seen anybody else as of late, you know, since we all moved out.
I haven't seen anyone. There was when Miguel got together and played Jackbox when I came back for Christmas.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen everyone for a little while. I mean, we all live in the same place, but we really don't see each other very much anymore just because of different jobs and lockdown and all that. You know, whenever we do stuff together, it's the few times we do, it's always online stuff, so.
Yeah. Here it is, the Ark's asshole.
Further down the spire. Commander rounded up some air support.
I hope that's the galaxy.
But the brutes already inside. They're all
Yeah, no. So that red box there that's flashing above 343, that's, yeah. We're outside of the galaxy.
This is the Ark.
I had always assumed it was part of a shield installation, but it seems I was mistaken.
That's a first.
Not at all. While I had a complete understanding of Installation 04, my makers wisely limited my knowledge of all other strategic facilities. Compartmentalization, in case I was ever captured by the flood.
Can you tell me where we are exactly?
Here,
And truth?
near one of the Ark's supraliminal communication arrays, I'm afraid. Unfortunate, the meddler has triggered a barrier, a defensive perimeter around the Ark's core. The barrier will be difficult to disable. How odd that my makers would place such a comprehensive defense around a single...
What is it?
Phantom.
Spark, move.
We must get past that barrier, or the meddler will destroy it all.
All right, pretty easy to understand.
Ouch! I'm gonna fucking die.
Brutes already inside.
You
Why did
just
the-
tank the minigun. Okay, we're going again. Yeah,
Technical difficulties, wow.
yeah. I have 338 gigs left on this one, so we should be good.
Ah, dude, let's burn that all in one night.
We might, you know, these mess halls are chonky. All right, do we go back to the doors or are we going down?
Yeah, we're going downstairs for evac.
Okay.
So, I really, I don't know how to segue into this and actually keep the conversation going. Like, I'm not tired, but I'm drained, so I can't really segue it very well. But fuck, the Halo soundtrack is good. Like
It's weird that I'm agreeing because I can't really hear it right now because I have like everything minimized for recording, but it is really, really good.
Yeah. Sound design's just not as good as it used to be, in my opinion. Like,
not on a mass scale anyway. There are some games that hit out of the park.
Marty O'Donnell, when he was interviewing Noodle, he basically summarized one of my gripes perfectly. Things are equalized, and his example was when the sound of a fist hitting someone should not be the same level as a nuclear explosion going off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just, that's the way soundtracks are these days. They're just too fucking loud. Well, not too fucking loud, but not they don't have
Not
enough
dynamic.
Yeah.
And like I kind of understand it to a degree. You ever watched a movie where things aren't balanced, where there's explosions and gunfire happening and people talking and you can't hear most of what's going on because things are so loud. Granted, like generally that's because you're not supposed to. But
in
the same
movies, the good wartime movies that are supposed to be historical, they do a really good job of that, because in those scenes they'll have them yelling and they will be heard, but as you would hear them, like they're yelling to where they can barely hear each other, and you're barely hearing them in the movies as the explosions go on. Like they do a pretty good job with it in a lot of movies still.
It's artistic choice. It's it's a choice that makes it more enjoyable to experience by those who understand what's going on. However, a lot of untrained ears or untrained viewers, that's kind of weird I don't know the right way to put it, but a lot of just like more average consumers hate when that happens because they can't hear what's going on. They want to be able to hear and experience everything that's going on, not necessarily experience the way it's supposed to be.
Go to the movies. You're not going there to be like, oh, I'm here to experience art. You're there to see the movie.
Yeah, which is kind of a shame because there's a lot of movies that that is art. That's an art medium, but a lot of people don't view it that way. A lot of people don't treat it that way. And the big money take on movie making. I'm about to get bonked. Oh, I got bonked. It takes away from that, and I think the same approach is taken with AAA games, where they're worried about the average experience for the consumer, not necessarily an artistic breakaway from something. They don't want deafening sounds that overshadow the dialogue when they're that's what's supposed to happen. They want people to be able to hear the gritty dialogue deliveries and cheesy lines because that's what people pay for. It's what a lot of consumers want. They want that Michael Bay experience where it's just there might not be a lot of artisticness to it, but it's just all around it's a big showy experience. It's fun to ride.
That's exactly one of the things I wanted to actually segue this into as we were started discussing about equalizing stuff, and it's so okay. I got to do a couple things at once here. It is weird to me what people consider art and don't consider art, because this is a work of art that we're playing right now. Like,
absolutely.
But who's gonna think about it? Like, no one really. Gamers, a lot of gamers are like, yeah, I don't want to sound gatekeepy with this, but there's a lot of people that are just like, oh yeah, that's a good game and I like it. But there's not a lot of people that sit there and think, sit objectively and say, yeah, this game is a good piece of art.
I think,
and then,
I think that comes down to the definition of art for a lot of people.
The issue with the art, the way the film and video game mediums are moving is the bigger and flashier the better. And like it's been going on for a long time. I mean, think about Halo 1 to Halo 3. Like, I know that when we first started Halo 3, after playing through Halo 2, you're like, God damn, this bloom. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's really Halo 3 is a really bright and flashy game. I mean, just look at that. That's a really bright image compared to like Halo 2's imagery and Halo 1's imagery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bad in this situation. It's when it's Call of Duty levels of new Call of Duty levels of flashiness, you know?
Yeah.
Except for World War II, which was, I'm not going to say it was a good game. I did not really appreciate the game. But it wasn't as bright and flashy as like Infinite.
I might be a little too open-minded, but I'm going to go out and say that this in of itself that we're talking about, this Michael Bay-esque sort of thing, that is art in of itself too. It's just a different sort of thing, right? You have your storytelling and then you have your just general experiences. And I'm a sucker for both. You know, I love the just turning my brain off and watching big monsters fight and explosions. That's great, right? You know, you're comparing like Freddie Mercury and everything he's done to like AC/DC. Whereas one, there's a lot of artistic ins and outs, versus the other one, it's just a good time all the way through. I don't necessarily think one or the other is bad or better than the other. However, I think that because people really just, they want one, they expect one, it's easier for them to take in. There's not enough light shown on the other side of things where it's like people trying to tell genuine stories and inflict emotions other than just pure awesome, you know, woohoo!
Yeah. And then it comes down to, like you're saying, it's preference, you know. I just don't really enjoy the big Michael Bay stuff. I like the nuances. I like the subtle storytelling and whatnot. But you know, hypocritically speaking, at the same time, when we were playing through Halo 2, and I was talking about like, I could, you know, playing through Halo 2 and like the Scarab when it walks onto the street in Halo 2 on the classic graphics, it's pretty fucking boring. It doesn't look great. But the feel that was perfectly captured in the anniversary graphics, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it was that big flashy scene. And I enjoyed that very much. I still play it on the classic settings, but like I can feel it. It feels cool. You know, it feels like the anniversary settings.
Well,
When I play
I think the difference there is like one big momentous scene is different than the whole context of it being that sort of thing. To give an example, you know, Halo, right? The Halo 2 and Halo 3 and the experiences, the ups and downs that they give are one thing versus like Doom, right? That's another. Nobody plays Doom because it has intricate, beautiful storytelling. They play Doom because they want to rip and tear until it's done. And that's
that
kind of
is-
more on that
that is
AC/DC, you know,
an
Michael Bay side of things.
amazing, perfect like way to explain it.
And there's nothing wrong with Doom. It's not personally my sort of thing, but like I think it's just as valid a game as anything else. But it's undeniably more similar to a lot of game companies' approach to things versus more of a genuine story experience, like say Ghost of Tsushima, which was a really, really, you know, just all around was a beautiful experience.
Well, yeah. So like, there are so some of my issues with newer games is the writing, but like comparing these to the Ghost of Tsushima and Doom, that's a really good way to go about it. I don't think Doom is a bad game, and if I had a copy, I'd play it. But if I was at a store and I was going to buy a copy of Ghost of Tsushima or going to buy a copy of Doom, like those are my two options. I'm gonna pick up Ghost of Tsushima every time because it is an amazing, like, beautiful, surreal art piece, as opposed to just rip and tear, which still is an art piece, and like a lot of work was put into that. The environments are really impressive, and the graphics look amazing. The enemies and just the design and everything, that's really great. But the scene I talk about all the time, I just love the feel of the battle in the cherry petals.
That
of
was
this
very,
Sakura boss. It's
very
just
well framed.
something I enjoy greatly.
I should state that while we're using Doom as kind of the AAA money approach comparison, Doom's always been that game. That's like 110% what they've been about, versus a lot of companies that are very much so for profit, just in it for the money, looking for that quick buck. They're taking more of that approach to games, right? It's kind of the idea of like selling out as a musician. You know, AC/DC, that's what they've always done. That's just the way it's gone. But if you have this very, you know, this artist that doesn't do that, that's not what the band or the artist is known for, but suddenly they change record labels and that's all they ever start doing, you know, that kind of feels, you know, it feels like there's not just that general, that, you know, they're not trying to give you the emotion behind it. It's just they're being told what to do because that seems to be what people like, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand with this the amount of respect I have for the Doom series and what it's done, and say that if anything, a lot of other things are more copying its sort of, it's just fun, you know, no story BS playstyle.
Yeah, even like, yeah, Doom really has been all that way. I don't know if you played the original Doom, but like, granted it's limited in its graphics because it was 1992, but it's still, you're just going in there to kill. That's it.
I'm gonna die.
There's no overlapping story or anything. You're just there to kill.
There's this game, Mark played it a little while back. I don't know if you watched it or not, but I actually thought about picking it up for our channel, for my channel, for just for pleasure. But it very much so reminds me of the original Doom. It's obviously like newer engine and all that, but it's still bit sort of graphics, like low poly 3D model stuff. And it's just, you're running around, you're smacking things and you're shooting things, and that's it. That's what the game is. You have like a dash and you have like a you know, double jump or whatever. You get different weapons, but that's literally all it is that same sort of like Doom style. You jump into a room, bunch of enemies spawn, you're fighting your way through hell. And I thought that was really, really cool. I'm not sure if it was an indie game. I think it was, but it was one of those ones that I was like really amazed at how well it captured that sort of genre, that sort of beginning energy. And it's something I'd highly recommend people checking out because it just looks fun. Like, that's the main reason I've wanted to play it, is it just looks like a ton of fun.
So, I don't think I have talked about this because I kind of just did it, and you know, we haven't really been talking about as much about this kind of stuff. We can't just sit down in the fucking
in the living room and BS about stuff
and talk about like what we've been doing and shit. Yeah. But I picked up Hyper Light Drifter. I don't know if you've seen the game or familiar with it in what any capacities or anything.
Sounds very familiar.
It's a roguelike kind of Soulsy style game. It's really fucking difficult, actually. I'm very bad at it. But it's got this beautiful red and green art style. Everything's like, the environment's red, greens, and blues, and it's all that nice like little 16, or well, probably closer to 32-bit pixel art. But it's really a beautiful game. I love the environments. I find it really entertaining to just sit there and watch, and you know, I can't really describe it much more than I just really like that specific color palette if used properly, and the bit art style in general. I like bright color palettes. There we go. That's how I can connect this. This is no longer a rogue thought. I like bright color palettes. I don't like excessive explosions.
Excessive particles can be like nice, but I'd prefer just like something very, like the fast pace of the game I'm talking about. I really wish I could remember what the game was called, but I might look it up here just to be able to actually reference it. But it was very fast paced without being overwhelming. There weren't a ton of particle effects everywhere, and it had, I wouldn't say necessarily bright, a lot of red. Obviously, like you're in hell, you're dealing with blood, a lot of red. But I will take just fast pace and minimal particle effects to show like blood spurts and things like that over, high explosions, high particle hell everywhere you look. Like, it just, I don't know. In a lot of games, like, that can actually confuse me when I'm playing. Like, my brain just can't pick things apart very well. So I definitely understand just with the simpler but really good palettes and good art style to it is a lot better than overly done.
You just murdered several people.
Isn't that what we're here to do?
Going on a separate, they were our people. Going on a separate tangent real quick. We can get back to art style a little bit here. But it was something I noticed, the ODST in the last room, when it killed that grunt, it shot its corpse a couple times. And that's been a thing since Halo 1. The enemies, they'd send a couple rounds, and I just love that that's a feature. That's been, they did that 20 years ago. They made that a feature. And, like, it capitalizes on war fucking sucks. People fucking hate their enemies. They're taught to demonize them when they're in the military. It's, all the people they lost, they're gonna fucking sink rounds into that body out of anger.
Or to make sure that thing's dead, especially when you're dealing with the flood.
Dude. But, no, like, either way, you know what I'm saying, it's like...
Yeah, it's flavor. It's just a nice little bit of flavor that adds to the world that some people overlook. It's like, why would you waste ammo? Well, it happens, Stuff like that might not have the most logical explanation, but...
this is a shitpost, but you are not immune to propaganda.
No.
And it's a shitpost because one of the images that circles around and comes across my Twitter feed every once in a while is a picture of Cherno T-posing that has that fucking caption.
I think I've seen that.
I've probably sent it to you.
You probably have.
But yeah, no, it's like... There are people that don't feel anything because they literally just don't have the capacity to feel emotions. That's not like an... Ouch!
I have this now.
Why'd I die?
I don't know. I was shooting this, but...
It was shrapnel from like a brute grenade or something.
Weird.
There are people that cannot feel. So I'm not... This isn't like an, oh, you're...
It's not a call-out.
So everyone feels. There's no getting around it. Obviously excluding people that literally cannot feel. I don't want to call anyone a monster. That's just a thing that you can have. And like depression, I've had some pretty fucking bad depression in my life. And honestly, most of my high school time, I just literally felt nothing.
Mm-hmm. Just that
I didn't get happy or excited for anything. I didn't feel anything. I felt an unyielding rage, but I wouldn't really call that feeling if that's literally the only thing I feel for 4 straight years.
Mm-hmm.
And so but everyone feels. Your emotions can catch the best of you. And so yeah, if you're angry enough and you just watched, think about how many people entered this building with us before that ODST fucking sunk a few extra rounds. They're all gone.
A lot of that might be my fault, but the NPCs don't get to know that.
The AI doesn't know that. The AI is programmed to be you killed my friend, your people killed my friend a little bit ago.
Yeah.
I'm fucking angry. But look, he's back.
Oh, good.
No, it's just that guy.
Oh, he lived through that.
And
just to snark, go away. I'm not talking to you.
Hey, buddy. He's just sitting in there.
Bonk.
I can be pretty level-headed most of the time, and there's a lot of situations where people are like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how are you not fazed by this? I think a good way... I haven't really... We haven't talked since I've sent the video of the bike getting stolen and the kid in the grocery store, but like that stuff doesn't faze me because I see it all the time. And like there's a lot of things I just don't get emotions about, but I'm not perfect. There will be absolutely situations where my emotions get the best of me, and I snap on people that don't need to be snapped on, or I steal magnums. Don't mind if I do. I ow.
I was trying to slow down. Okay, ice physics.
But yeah, I'm not. Everyone gets overtaken by their emotions here and there. God, I'm like my father.
Well, statistically
The amount of
speaking,
time
we're all a good deal like our parents, whether we like that or not.
Yeah, it's just fucking. He has conversations like that where it's like he'll just repeat the same thing over and over again, and maybe add in a few extra words each cycle.
People just talk like that, though. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily just a one-person thing. I know a lot of. I do that, but I've seen a lot of other people do the exact same thing. Where am I going?
I'm walking.
I know where you're going. I don't know where I'm going because now, like, we're in this thing where I can go up or I can go down.
We got to go to the other point because they lost it.
Well, there's no. I'm just gonna assume this is the
I
right
don't want to
way.
write, and I don't care about the magnums enough. Can I get a back and pick me up?
Yeah, I'm turning around. I'm coming.
This is taking for fucking ever to walk, and Halo has really big maps actually. Actually, I want to sit there. If you could,
Let me get in there.
yeah.
Thanks for the ride.
Thanks for being useful. Finally. Okay. Yeah.
That ODST thing was just supposed to be like, God, I love this feature. I didn't expect it to be a short conversation.
About propaganda and emotions.
But yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the other one here. Thank you very much. Oh, do you want me to fly? Or are you gonna fly?
I can fly.
Okay. I'm gonna fly this one then.
You guys want on? Yeah, buddy. What about you want on this side? Other side, dude? Hey?
You want
Hey,
you want
get in.
you want to come to me?
Oh.
Get in. Here.
You.
Other side. Right here. Get in.
Dude, fuck this. I'm just gonna take the one. I wish Bungie would.
I lost
oh my god!
all my
Why
guys.
did you jump off? He's dead, Austin. He just fucking jumped off, and I don't know why.
Mine jumped off too and shot at me. He's still shooting at me. Might be because I gunned down the other two.
Did my words not come out right? Though I tried not to hurt you. Though I tried. I guess that's why they say every rose has its thorn. Every cowboy sings a sad, sad song.
I thought every night has its dawn.
Oh, well, I know they're both lyrics, but I don't know what order they go in.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't listened to that song since I played a rock band.
I haven't listened to it in a long time, but it's one of those ones that just like the chorus specifically. Oh no, I'm gonna die now. I just got out. Every rose has its thorns, just like every night has its dawns. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Every rose has its thorns. I can't even see what's going on. I'm just staring straight down into the water.
I jumped off.
Boom, boom.
Oh, hello. Why are you here? I guess I'm with you now.
You want, I thought that's what you wanted. You want to drive the other one?
I didn't know you died, and
Yeah, no, I was dead.
so whether or not you realized it, you did watch me jump off.
I got shotgun.
It's one of those songs, it's sometimes that's just the mood,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not very often do I get into that specifically that song, but it happens. It's like, you know what I could listen to right now?
Oh man, they got a raid.
I actually don't like the Hornets. I just hate the way they look.
Figured out how to use the missiles officially, and they are very helpful.
They are fire and forget missiles.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I just didn't know what button they were.
Ah,
Should we bother shooting at the Phantom?
we might be able to destroy it in Halo 3.
Why did those go up?
Clear it out, then get inside this house.
Hey, careful!
Yay, those ones hit.
Yeah, we
Hey,
can.
we got it. Nice.
I know it wasn't a thing in Halo 2. Oh, Jesus!
It teleported me.
I know it wasn't a thing in Halo 2, but you could destroy the guns because that was a new feature from Halo 1. God, Halo 1, honestly, like, when a Banshee came, it kind of fucking sucked because there's literally nothing you could do about it. Oh, shit, I did it again.
Tearing them to pieces. Good work, bud.
So that's something we could talk about, actually. Sequels, and how they are now versus how they used to be. And like that's not true for every game in the past, but like when you get a newer game now, when you get a sequel, it's like, yeah, we want to make money off this because this one did really well. Like that's going to be why we're getting Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6 isn't like, oh, we wanted to do more with the story, but we just didn't have the time to do it. Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be, yeah, here's a new game, buy our shit.
Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be the next 5 Elder Scrolls game, just like Skyrim was.
Yeah, and you know, I don't appreciate the way that sequels are handled now, because they're either like that or they're just like really not enjoyable because they change something fundamentally for no reason.
Yeah.
Like Halo 1 to Halo 2, kind of a weird. It was definitely a wow. I guess this is what we're gonna do now. We're gonna make another Halo game. But Halo 2 was at least enjoyable, like really fucking enjoyable, to where it's, you know, one of my favorite my favorite Halo game. But like, then Halo 2 to 3, their connection being like, yeah, this entire campaign we've been doing up to now was supposed to be Halo 2.
I finally figured out how to go down.
It's a weird button. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
I've been spending this whole time trying to figure out how I descend so I can get out safely so you can respawn.
Bitch. Fuck, dude. I almost got dropped off the edge when you sat down.
Oh, did you come back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it spawned me down, but I spawned, like, past the edge of this, and I just barely caught the ledge.
I think do we need to go in here or do we need to keep flying?
Side, yeah.
Oh, okay. Keep it running for me. Okay, the elites are... Oh, that's right. The elites are good. Brutes are bad.
And then another thing with sequels that you and I talked about, so you know my standpoint, and I have a feel for yours on the situation, but I don't want sequels for some things. Like, there are times when it's not necessary. I don't want more lore for Dark Souls was the one we were talking about. We have a lot of missing lore, and we've got a lot explained too. So there's a good balance between it, and I enjoy the speculation of what we don't know.
Yeah. I like what they've done. I like where we are at this point because we have just enough answers to, kind of give a satisfying end to some of the really long talked about fan theories. But at the same time, there's still so much that's unconfirmed that those theories can continue. I don't think we're ever gonna get another Dark Souls game, right?
No, I don't either, and that's fine. I'm so okay with that.
The 3 stories they told were from different sides of Linking the Fire, and that's literally all they wanted to do. But I'm excited to see where they're going to go with Elden Ring, because we're going to get the same sort of, not the same world, but the same sort of world, same sort of mechanics, gameplay, and hopefully the same sort of lore writing, right? They have R.R. Martin on that, and I don't personally, I'm not familiar with his works very much. But, he's supposed to be good. I imagine they'd keep Miyazaki on and have him still be a creative director for all of this. And that man is good at what he does.
How well Dark Souls does as a series, I'd say it's more than likely they're going to keep him, And Sekiro. Sekiro's it's one of those games where a lot of people didn't enjoy it because of how difficult it was. Because it was incredibly fucking difficult compared to Dark Souls. But when you actually got into it and enjoyed the game, it was a good game. So I'd imagine, and VaatiVidya doesn't have a whole lot of he doesn't have a whole lot of videos on Sekiro, and not any. I think
Sekiro kind of explains all of its own lore that's there.
I enjoy VaatiVidya's work, but I wish the videos weren't literally all 10 minutes long, at maybe 20 if it's a lucky video. I get you can only do so much, but it's just one of those things. Man, I wish I didn't have to, deal with YouTube saying, "Are you sure you want to keep watching this stuff?" every 2 videos.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that in itself is kind of a topic, just the idea of video lengths. Because when we started LSL, we knew that we wanted videos longer than, Game Grumps specifically was one that popped to mind. And I think they, at the time, it was after they had recently started making longer videos. But even then, they still weren't super long. They still don't feel super long. I'm caught up on them playing Danganronpa, which I absolutely love. But it doesn't. They still feel like super short episodes. I've noticed with our content too. 20 minutes seems to be a sweet spot, but there's certainly episodes where 20 minutes just doesn't feel enough. I can't imagine regularly putting out something like 10-minute videos. It feels like, when I was watching Vaati, I would literally just let Vaati play back to back to back on my PlayStation while I was doing stuff. So
that's what I use him. I'll put on his Prepare to Cry, and then that's just what I'm going to bed to,
Yeah, and it's super good for that. So I guess I didn't personally notice when videos started, ended, when topics shifted, because he touched on a lot of different things on videos just to tell one story, because that's it's what you got to do with Dark Souls. But
which is something I love about the writing.
I definitely still think that the overall storytelling in Dark Souls is kind of haphazard and weird, but the way it comes together is definitely very well executed, and the way that everything kind of ties into everything in one cohesive way it's really good. It's really, really good.
Okay, so I did play this mission actually. Remembering this, I did play this mission. So we did Savo Highway, which that was when we were fucking driving around the Warthogs after the base got invaded, and then next time I was over. He was at this mission, so I do remember playing this one. That's it. Nothing else to say on that. And this is what scarred me for about a year. I don't let go of things. I don't let go of things. It's great if it's used in a situation where I owe you money and I'm just not gonna forget that because I don't let go of it. It's not fun when I have a vendetta against you because it's
never
not
going away.
We are not gonna be friends ever.
And I can vouch for that. That kind of money situation came up recently, and I'll be honest, I wasn't even thinking about that. I completely forgot about it. So even when it came up, it's oh yeah, I forgot about that. I don't really care. But this one has a very good memory for things that stick out like that. When it's
I
one of
do.
those things that's like I'm not gonna
Remember
forget.
anything else.
I watched him do it. I watched him do it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool. Of course, you know this thing's obviously this is more on the making sure it's dead side of things, but
That thing's hideous. Ugh.
fuck yeah, they got so much worse in Halo 3 because the whole like that one had a big hole in it because the thing they added with Halo 3 is A, look how bright and fucking flashy the tendrils are compared to the old games. But B, it's my least favorite enemy in just about any game. Outside of fucking whatever it is that from Dead Space that fucking sticks its long ass tongue down your throat.
Oh, Zuchis?
It's whatever.
The flying ones that convert?
I didn't remember recording to recording, and that was once every week.
Nah, man. I remember a lot of the names. That was a Zuchi. Just as long as it was the flying one.
It was the flying one, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Zuchi.
But yeah, you can fucking shoot the tendrils out of the fucking face, which just it's excellent design. It's absolutely fucking disgusting, but it's the Flood. It's supposed to be disgusting.
Yeah.
It is well designed.
I'm supposed to go over to this now? Oh, hey, look, a scorpion.
Who cares about the scorpion?
I'm gonna take the scorpion. Actually, wait, no, I'm not. I'll let them take the scorpion. It's way more fun to drive the hogs. Just waiting here to make sure they actually do take it. Let's go.
Oh fuck yeah! This is the last mission, second to last mission, because the Warthog runs its own mission.
Blurg.
I do wish that I was older. Not the I don't want to be a kid thing. I'm fine with that and regretting my wishes when I was a kid, wanting to be older. But like, I wish I could have been playing this when it came out as like a 15-year-old. You know,
When like the core of the magic was there, when this was
Or
cutting
even,
edge
like-
stuff.
yeah. Or even like older. I'd like to play. I would like to have played Halo 2 more specifically when it came out. But you know, it's just I'm not that old. You know, I'm not old enough to where that's what I did, and that's just the way it is. I wish I was older in. I wish I was born sooner. I don't wish it was 2020. I wish it was fucking 2007. But I was the same age now. That's what I want. Kids, if you're kids, you shouldn't be watching most of our content. We're pretty fucking crass, and that's
We have some pretty like lowbrow is not even beginning to like describe what we go into sometimes. Like we very much so make it content for people like maybe like 16 and up.
Yeah, but anyway, the story. Kids, don't wish you're grown up. You're gonna waste your time wishing you're grown up, and then you're gonna be an adult, and you're gonna find out it fucking blows.
Either I
It's not
am just
old fun. I'm not allowed to have fun anymore because I gotta pay bills and stuff. I can play video games whenever the fuck I want, but the magic, the freedom, that's all gone.
yeah.
I can't get that back. It's gone forever.
Because every moment you're playing video games is a moment you're not doing dishes, you're not cleaning your house, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. So even though you have the freedom to be doing whatever you want,
I'm gonna take a hornet.
you take a hornet.
Yeah, because you can just land on the decks and shoot the fucking spores, the worms.
I count 2 scarabs. Repeat, 2 scarabs.
But yeah, no, it's you don't want to be old. I fucked up.
Oh, I did too. Something shoots me just before I'm about to vault off. If I could vault, I could ram it and then jump out in time to stay on deck, but something keeps getting me right before I can land. My mind's just kind of like buzzing right now about like all the things I would love to do on LSL, but more specifically just like on YouTube, whether it be here or on my channel or on a new channel or, you know, with somebody else on their channel or whatever. But, you know, I relate to Markiplier. This is kind of a weird thing to say, but I relate to Markiplier in a lot of ways because he seems to very much so be the kind of guy that has like a million ideas and has his hands in a lot of different pies all at once. And I very much so have a lot of different things I want to try and I want to do. I would love to do it on our channel, but I understand that some of it wouldn't necessarily work. Like, I would love to do an actual, like, formal, like, D&D series on here. I don't think we have...
Awesome.
I don't
And,
think we have the
I
group for it right now, but...
I think that is something we can do eventually, but, like, I don't... That's, like, a when we're bigger thing, because then that's content we're putting out that's, you know, people are going to see it's not going to be the thing, and rather than just being like, oh, I don't really care about this YouTuber because this is what they do, it's, oh, I'm not just not going to watch this video because whatever.
Yeah.
Most interesting.
And I can see us doing a different channel completely for that, just depending on if we get our own group or if we, like, collab with other YouTubers. Shout out there to, like, Joe Cat and Cammy Cat and
it's a live thing.
all the other stuff. So you're thinking more like streaming?
Well, it's streaming, but like on YouTube, so the videos stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, something we do live and in the moment. Can you fucking disable this goddamn scarab for me, someone?
I'm like trying, but I don't actually know how.
You shoot the legs with anything. Preferably use the Gauss gun because those are good damage. But like, wait, hold on.
I'm gonna die doing so. But oh no, somebody! This thing started driving. There was nobody driving it, but it took off. Well, that was exciting. Anyway, any of the two aforementioned YouTubers, if not any of the other D&D YouTubers that I enjoy watching but cannot remember your names for the life of me at the moment, I'm sorry. If for some reason you're watching this video and you want to do a D&D series, hook me up. I'm so ready.
Well, fuck, okay.
That was successful.
Yeah, here, I'll drive you around. Shoot the back leg on the right side. Left side.
Left side? Okay. Mirror, boy.
We're gonna get fucking smashed one of these times.
I know.
Okay, we did it.
Okay, now we fire. Or do you get in? You get in.
Yeah, you get on the schedule. Oh wow, everything's dead on this.
Yeah, I was shooting at it for a little bit. Just because I don't know how to kill it doesn't mean I don't know how to kill everything else on board.
Okay, let's get off before this thing blows up.
Hopping back.
Oh, I flashbanged myself.
Or not. I lived, bitch! Oh, please don't.
Calamity! If only we had more time!
Excelsior! Aim down.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Good
luck. Naked lady.
For a moment of safety, I loosed their leash.
So that is one thing that's from newer game design that they've been better with, a lot better with, is less sexualization. Uh, fuck, dude, I like Elder Scrolls Arena. It's cool, and yeah, it's all pixel art and shit. But literally all the women, every single NPC that's a woman, they're wearing a fucking bra, and that's basically it. Bra and fucking
The classic female fantasy armor.
yeah,
You got a chainmail bikini.
basically.
Yeah.
Dude, not gonna lie though, I'd wear a chainmail bikini.
I wouldn't, but I don't think
It's-
I'd wear a bikini just in general.
Well, it's like it's a
Not yet,
little.
anyway.
It's light armor, you know. It's just a little bit of light armor.
A little bit of light armor. Listen, if I had a more ideal body, then, you know,
Dude,
maybe.
I'd wear chainmail.
Yeah, we have gotten a bit more progressive in that, right? In that account. I still hate the... Okay, this is going to be a little weird to explain, but I hate the shoehorning of the LGBTQ support.
No, yeah.
Not the general, like, okay, these are gay characters, they're never gay on screen, they are canonically that, you know, that's great. I hate the, like, okay, we're going to show these characters being ultra gay for a little bit, and they're, like, the only 2 token gay characters we have. But we're just going to do that for a little bit just so everybody knows. Or like, hey, this character we've had for 5 years, suddenly they're going to be, the sort of like J.K. Rowling sort of deal where it's like, oh, by the way, I'm making this stuff on the fly. I hate that, like, oh, we're saying it just to say it, or we're making a big deal about it, because that's not how people live. That's not the reality of the situation. But I think games were also, like, before that, games were overly straight, too. Like, there are games that would go out of their way to be like, oh, these 2 are a couple, they're doing their thing. I mean, there's a lot that was like assumed because of stereotype bias, I guess, but in general, I think the way that games have handled ideas of romance and sexuality, both in terms of romance and of terms of identity, things like gender identities and things like that, it's gotten better because it's gotten more just like, this is the way that it is, rather than we're going to show off every bit of it to you guys to make a scene about it.
Yeah, like I deal with a lot more Twitter than you do, and I see a lot more of the LGBT and trans community. Like
I don't know
fine
about that, but
totally okay with it. But like, I see a lot of that stuff come up on my feed, and like, it's a line to walk. I'm not. If you want to be trans, that's fine. Not a thing for me. If you want to be whatever orientation, non-binary, I don't care. You do you. I'll respect your decision. I'll follow your fucking pronouns. I don't care. But a lot of what I've seen is like this person said they don't like the fact that they're just going out of the way to state that these characters are this way. They're fucking transphobic. Like, that's not the same thing.
no.
I really don't appreciate that tokenized anything. I don't like. They're just using it to profit. Companies are not using that to be, oh, we're representing you. They're using it to make money off of you. That is it.
It's like the token minorities kind of thing, right? I support vast diversity in movies, but I hate when it's like, you know, an all-white crew and the token black guy of the group, and that's all that they are. You know, there's one thing for actual support, and I'm fully for actual support, and I'm, you know, a big proponent for equal rights and all that kind of stuff, but I just hate the way that companies try to handle things sometimes. They try to take it and make it a thing about them. Like, hey, look, we're progressive. And it's not just media that does it too. A lot of just normal companies that advertise and whatnot, they'll try to do that kind of flashy stuff just to get you to buy their brand. Just like, oh, we're a morally great company, so you should buy more of our stuff. Which, it's good that people are being good people, but I don't think that that's necessarily a reason to support a faceless corporation. You know what I mean? It's all a game of money, and they want you to think that they want you to believe that your issues matter to them, so that you're going to spend more money with them. I actually saw, I think I sent this to the group a while back that we're in, but the comparison between Gen Z and millennials. One of the big things is Gen Z, which we both are a part of.
Yeah.
When talking about brands, what they like in brands, Gen Z prefers authentic brands. What that generally means is like more like small brands. You know, people where it's like, you know, I'm doing this with like 7 other people, and we're contracted to a small assembly line, or like we do all this by hand, like something where it's actual people behind this just trying to get somewhere in the world. You know, I'm a big proponent for that, and a lot of our generation is that. Versus millennials like the idea of companies that share values and overly obsess about the same values as they do. Which I feel like is one big reason why we have this in media or in advertising or whatever, is because there's been a whole generation, and again, of course, you know, this is kind of generalizing, and I understand that, but there's a lot of a generation that responds to that sort of media, even though it's really just kind of tokenizing, or I don't want not belittling, but you kind of know what I mean. It's taking an actual issue that people care about and affects people and making it into a tool for profit, and I just kind of think that's gross.
Yep, that's exactly it.
But yeah, if it hasn't been understood so far, we on LSL think that you beautiful people out there should go and be happy and be the best selves that you can be, no matter what that is that makes you happy. So long as it doesn't hurt other people. So long as you're just living your life and doing your thing, you have the right to be whatever you want to be. And we are in full support of that.
You can really tell that this is supposed to be a finale in Halo.
The moment of salvation is at hand. Will not last. Your kind never believed in the promise of the sacred ring. Lies for the weak, beacons for the deluded. I will have my revenge on a prophet. My feet tread the path. I shall become God. You will be fooled. Nothing more. No!
Chief just rocks up in there. Boop. That's all he does.
The voice of the covenant. So, you must be silenced.
Arbiter, you get your catharsis the way you want, but that kind of felt like it took a while.
It's the way it is.
Gotta be dramatic.
We still got like, I think, 2 missions left.
Yeah. I think we all know where this is going.
Cinematics just, they don't feel as enjoyable these days.
Ooh.
Like, there's definitely some good cinematics. Especially, like, Beyond Light. That had some amazing cinematics.
Oh, some great dialogue delivery, too.
Oh my god. I fucking loved the dialogue delivery and everything on it. But, like, you know, like...
Shout out to Bungie for really just blowing it out of the water here.
Barely keep hold, Chief. No way I can pick you up. Head back to the lift. Find a way down.
Okay.
Where did she come from? Where did she go? Where did she come from, Gunman Joe?
Just gonna pick up literally anything else that has ammo.
I really don't know why that song's been so in my head lately.
Kind of has been, hasn't it? Like, you know, you and I don't necessarily voice chat on the regular, but like quite often when we do.
I couldn't fucking stop.
If I've been forgotten, now, Joe, I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
That being said, so my first time hearing that and my memories of that song are forever bound to Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
Really?
Yes, so when the King was playing it, um, that would he every time fucking the what is it, Springtrap?
Yeah.
Whenever the illusion would happen, or Springtrap would just like show up in front of the office window like he does,
Mm-hmm.
and he would fucking start singing that song.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? I think I watched like the first
You know,
episode of him
as he
playing
gets
that,
as
but
he gets more stressed out, obviously he gets a bit higher pitched and singing it faster and faster.
you know, primo content.
It really was, man. It really was back then.
I say, as I know full well, I anxiety sing a lot. Well, I won't say just in general on my channel, because Amnesia is the only game I have the right to anxiety sing in, and I'm not playing that right now because of the glitch that I can't progress through. But it's a coping mechanism. It's one I relate to.
Yeah, dude. That's another thing with growing up and why you don't want to grow up. That was the best day of my week. Markiplier uploaded a new video of Five Nights at Freddy's. Hell yeah, gonna sit down and watch that shit. But I just don't get joy from those things anymore.
There's some of the better parts of my day. When I watch Game Grumps, really when I watch Game Grumps play whatever, but especially when they upload a new episode of Danganronpa, whenever I watch Mark's daily upload, like it's a highlight of my day, but it's not the kind of thing that keeps me going week to week.
Yeah.
Don't go down there. That feels like a death hole. Did you go down the hole?
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't a death hole.
I figured it wouldn't be because they're not death holes in Halo 2.
What do you see?
I see a bad bitch.
So, I wouldn't, if, that whole idea of going back to a point in time in your life and redoing things, I wouldn't go back, because there's a lot of things I wouldn't want to re-experience, a lot of people I wouldn't want to be around anymore. But I do wish that I was able to kind of break free from a lot of the... It's going to sound edgy, but I don't really want to explain much more detailed than this. I wish I could have broken free from a lot of my chains that kind of restricted me through my teenage years and my early adulthood. It was really the past couple years that I learned to shake those off, but I really wish I could have gotten out and done more through high school when things were it was just easier, man. If like we wanted to get together and play D&D, like there were reasons why I couldn't do that. We tried like once, but like thinking now, there was like absolutely no reason we couldn't have been doing that at least once a week and just like not having a care in the world. And I regret what I haven't done in those days, because there's so much I could have been doing that in the end it was fear that held me back from it.
Yeah. So that's the catch with how I was phrasing it and talking about earlier, is like not necessarily going back in time and experience everything again, but being able to experience things like this, like us playing Halo 3, but instead of us playing Halo 3 in our 20s, 14 years after it came out, us playing Halo 3 in our 20s when it came out.
Well, I was more talking about like when I was 17 in high school. I wouldn't want to personally go back and now, with what I know now, go back and change things and relive all of that again. Because I wouldn't. I'm not going to, again, at the risk of sounding edgy, I went through some hell between the age of 16 and now. I went through a lot of hell. And I don't exactly want to go through that again. But after having broken through said chains in my past couple of years, I understand how easily I could have done so back then. And if I would have done so, I wish I had the memories I could have been making back then if I wasn't afraid. Like when things were so easy to get together, like playing this even back in high school, like even back when I was in high school, or playing D&D together on a regular basis back then, or whatever. A lot of those I wish I would have done.
Yeah, back when I was in high school, I would have been on the, if I could go back and change things, I would have. But like, as I've matured in my adult life and gone through life, I've gone from the, oh, this could be better, to shit, I can't change the past. Like, even if I could, the past builds character. The past is part of who I am today. Without that,
Yeah. I could have 100% gone back and avoided a lot of the hell that I've gone through in the past however many years it's been. But that has really shaped me into the person I am today. So I don't necessarily want to deprive myself of that. I just don't want to do it again. But I think there's a lot of just, I don't know, I just miss the freedom, of not having those cares. Even with the extra pressures that I had to deal with when I was going through school. It was a free time, We went to school, which was basically effortless throughout the day, and then went home. And that's it. That's all we had to do. Food was given to us. Money was given to us usually. So, like, we had some spending money here and there. If we didn't have, like, a day job or whatever, we could stay up as late as we want. And the earliest we had to be up was to make it to first period. And I didn't even go to first period senior year. I had a first period. I just chose to skip it most of the time. But, yeah, it's just, and being where I am now, I kind of could have that same amount of freedom. Obviously, I still work. I have like 2 bills I have to pay a month, but that's not much money. Obviously, I'm not planning on like quitting or anything, but like it's gotten me closer to, it's like the closest I've been to where I was in high school as far as freedoms. And it makes me realize how, despite how bad things were, how great things were and how much better they could have been if a few things were different. I'm not regretting the past. I just regret I didn't take advantage of life a little bit more back then.
Yeah.
But I think everybody has something like that. Maybe they regret not doing, or plenty of people that regret doing things.
There are things that I'm still dealing with now. Just trauma and shit that and mistakes that I've made that I'm, thinking about it as we're having this conversation. Yeah, I wish I could go back and change it, but again, still, given the opportunity, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
The main one being actually, my dog died in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And when, I wasn't there. I didn't even get to say goodbye. And I regret that every day. It's something I'm just not able to let go of.
I can understand that. There were some things that I could have changed if I was there, and some things I couldn't have, but in the end it would have been easier to sleep at night if I was there, at the very least. Regardless of how hard it would have been to be there, it's worse not having been. I won't get into things because they're gorier and less relatable, but I completely understand. God, these things are just gigantic bullet sponges.
Yeah. Wasn't fun.
But I do appreciate that they're killable. A lot of times in games anymore, whenever you call something a bullet sponge, when it feels like a bullet sponge, it just is really hard to kill. These ones you gotta just like keep shooting, keep hitting, and just keep backing up, and it will die. And I think that's something else that's been kind of lost in translation over the years, in the idea of difficulty, or the idea of a tanky or bullet sponge enemy. An example I like to use a lot, as much as I love Destiny, is the fucking Cabal Gladiators. Those dudes should,
They take way too many bullets.
and one hit and you're gone. Like,
Well, and then they have movement. They're fast. Which, like, yeah, you can't expect every single tank to be slow. But fuck, if you're that big and like an actual tank like that, you shouldn't be fast.
not at all.
Not as fast as they are. They're fucking hopping to you.
Yeah. Which, I mean, just making sure you're over the recommended level is kind of the way to get around that, but I don't know, it just kind of feels a little sucky sometimes. But it is something I appreciate about older games like this one. This kind of does speak volumes as far as the approach to game design and game making in this era. I feel like the idea of a game here versus what it is today, I feel like those are two very, very different things, two very, very different expectations. And that's how things go. But I don't know. I think an approach, a step back to the 2000s approach to game making, I think that'd be refreshing to see. And indie games that do that often are some really, really banging indie games.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the only ones that ever try it. Everybody's always focused with progression and going forward with stuff that they don't ever think that maybe they can stop and take a look back for some inspiration.
Yeah, like Halo, the...
Infinite?
No, Halo Infinite, the jury's still out on that one. It sounds like they're actually going to go back to being more of the Halo Combat Evolved, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I really am. But no, the Halo Anniversary Editions, and 4 and 5. They're steps forward, but like steps forward in the wrong direction.
Oh, I gotta go up here.
Oh.
Decent way. Down the hole. Oh boy. There's a lot of things in here.
Can I speak with you, please?
Not at the moment.
What's your name?
Things are
Bit chap.
a little too hectic at the moment.
You know it 100% exists.
You like
Um,
so do I.
Rule 34 Flood?
Well, I was going to say Gravemind X Cortana.
The internet. Anything's possible.
Well, and you've seen how Cortana is. And you've seen the tentacle monster,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I will say looks so much fucking better on Anniversary. Actually, oh, what the fuck? Oh, there it is. Does look better on Anniversary Edition. Actually, the Gravemind really doesn't look great on the classic settings.
Yeah, on default too.
Because it's got the fucking default like brown liquidy texture that just looks like shit, and that's just what its mouth is.
But now we got flesh and
Yeah, now
that.
The Gravemind looks moist in Anniversary. Very moist, I might add.
oh, I don't appreciate this.
Dude, fuck, dude, I'm just gonna run through, and if I die, I die. That's the way it goes.
I'm not.
Yep. Well, I finally have weapons again. I ran out of weapons. Ow. Okay. Are you ahead of me? Probably. I'm gonna assume that's a yes.
What?
I'm just trying to figure out where to go. Ooh, what is this? What does this guy have? That's a flamethrower. I do want that. And let me... Wait, can I not? Oh, okay. I can't stow the flamethrower.
Yeah, it's like a turret weapon.
Yeah. That's okay.
It's also not great.
It's gonna make me feel better. Okay, it might make me feel slightly more dead, if I'm being honest. It was a choice. Do you have any ideas for the channel? Just to kind of brainstorm on here. So just to reward all those wonderful people that like to watch Mess Hall, which is a surprising amount actually. Do you have any thoughts of the future, things that you want to give a try on?
It's a stretch goal, and like we talked a little bit about it, and this isn't like channel content thing. But when we were talking about Minecraft earlier, maybe it's something, and like we talked about. So we have a friend Pixelmon server that we play on, and when you brought up a faction server, I think that would be something that'd be cool to have at some point. Is a basically, I don't know. We'll see how it would turn out if we do it. But basically, a channel Pixelmon, or not Pixelmon, faction server.
I was saying, are we talking Pixelmon faction?
No, not Pixelmon factions. Jesus fucking Christ. But no, like a faction server. I think it'd be cool. I've always wanted to be a part of a faction server. I love the idea. And like that's so. I know you didn't really watch him, but he was someone I watched a lot. I used to love watching Sunday play Minecraft factions, and that was a bigger deal for me than Five Nights at Freddy's. Actually, I fucking loved factions. It was so cool to me, and I wish I could have been a part of it, but not having any computers or anything. Kind of fun. Hey, look.
Most of the Sunday I watched was him doing modded stuff, like different mod playthroughs and stuff.
A mod review channel. Back when those. Do you remember when that was what a Minecraft YouTuber was? Before like they actually started doing mini games and stuff.
Yeah.
That was like such a because everyone did it. Sky does Minecraft. Yeah, Sky does everything now is what his channel's called. Yeah. No, he reviewed Minecraft. That was all he ever did when I started watching him. Minecraft mods. That was all he ever did when I started watching him. I loved watching him, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what popular MMOs
popular
started
MMOs
as too.
Before he did Versus and then whatever else he's doing now.
I think it's generally just the ultra mods or whatever. They just kind of do stuff on their server where they'll go take down mobs and stuff on their server.
No, that is popular MMOs. He does the Versus stuff sometimes now.
That's what a lot of their content was.
Used to be the Versus wife, but now he labels it as Versus ex-wife.
I was to say, was there like a story there? Because like I watched a recent video of theirs and they were still doing it.
They divorced, but they're still on good terms.
Oh well, I mean, good for them.
I still like don't feel. I feel conflicted about him calling it versus ex-wife. Like
It's funnier that way.
you,
But yeah, no, that takes a lot to be able to like recognize we're not happy, we're gonna do this, but still be able to do so on good terms without any of the extra petty and the drama and all that.
yeah.
That's really cool. I do not like these wall things.
They're the same things as the ground ones. They're just not flipped inside out.
I don't care. The ground ones are down here where I can hit them with my shotgun.
You know, I have this and a sword. I can't do shit.
Ow? Question mark?
We-
I really can't hit those ones.
Yeah, we can just fucking leave, dude.
Oh, can we?
Yeah.
Goodbye, losers.
Adios.
You know, if LSL picks up traction in 2021 more so than it has, I think one big goal, other than getting kind of back to what we used to do and trying maybe
Wait,
something
we've been
new.
here before.
I was gonna say I thought this was back, but I'd really love to be able to do like one collab this year, whether it be like us or one of us appearing on somebody else's channel and working on something, or vice versa. You know, somebody coming and working on ours on stuff with us. But I think it'd be really, really cool to be able to make that first kind of YouTube work connection with somebody. Just to be around, because in my experience, you know, I've done a lot of creative stuff in my life. I know you've done a lot of the same kind of stuff too, but just being around other creators that do the same kind of stuff as you do, it's generally a really cool experience, because you get somebody that, you know, they work and they have the same passion for things that you do, but they have their completely different way of going about it and their own perspective on things, and it's just kind of I like being around that kind of energy. It kind of helps me kind of introspect on how I do things and see like, okay, well, what do I like about their style that I could use to improve mine, or, you know, however you want to go about doing something like that. And it's just fun to have those kinds of, you know, new friends and connections.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not the time, Cortana.
Submit! And atonement and my own!
Yeah, I was about to jump over a ledge when that happened.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, and I would have fallen all the way back down to the ground floor. Alright. Do you think we're good here? I mean, obviously we'll keep going with Halo, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's pretty well anything and everything I could talk about without getting too deep into just nonsensical rambles. So, thanks for hopping on here with us, everybody, and that's back to Battle Stations.